So we're making an interesting custom today. She's kinda naked. Like, is this allowed? Do I need a censor bar or something on this? Hey guys, it's LpsHoney, and today we're making a Sphynx custom Littlest pet shop. This base is from Sunny's Pet Garden. I'm not affiliated, but I love her work, and she is a friend of the channel, making the intros and outros for all my videos. She makes incredible 3D resin printed LPS inspired figurines, and if you're interested in the Sphynx cat or any of her other designs, there'll be a link to her store in the description down below. Definitely check her out after this video. But today we're here for this little goober, so without further ado, let's get into making our Sphynx custom. Let me give you a quick little 360 to see what we're starting with. The base for this custom was originally white, but because I'd never painted with a resin pet before, I wanted to go ahead and do the base coat just to see how the paint would react, and thankfully it went on just as smooth as a normal Littlest pet shop. Hopefully you guys can see on camera, but this pink is the perfect Sphynx pink. But let's paint the rest of her. Woo! It's custom time, baby. So we have our Sphynx base. Here's what a non-painted resin base looks like, this pale white color. But first things first, I wanted to get some shading on this little wrinkly dude because whenever I think Sphynx cats, I think wrinkles, okay? Wrinkles upon wrinkles. And so I wanted to specifically highlight, or in this case, shadow the wrinkles on this LPS model to give it that kind of depth and look, because you can definitely see the wrinkles without shading, but mixing a little concoction of chalk pastels to create the perfect shade, I really wanted to get into the little nooks and crannies to emphasize these little frown lines on the forehead and all the rolls on the body. So this was the first big step for me, and after applying these chalk pastels, I did seal it with a coat of Mr. Super Clear so it didn't smudge off while I was doing the rest of the painting. I'm still learning when it comes to chalk pastels, but I found that if you use a pretty fluffy brush and you work with small amounts, just kind of dusting multiple layers into the crevices, it goes on a lot smoother than just trying to like build it up immediately. I've also noticed that darker colors can be a little tricky sometimes, but shading like this, where it is the same tone but darker, is easier than going in with, let's say, a straight on black or dark blue color. Once the shading was done and sealed, I started to go in with these small painted details like the little toe beans, because Sunny did an amazing job on this base and modeled little paw pads and toe beans as well, and I love them. I think they're so cute. I don't show you guys me messing up a lot, but I wanted to show you me cleaning up one of these toe beans that I wasn't happy with, because it is part of the process. I do mess up sometimes with my painting, and it's always good, I think, to show this now and again to be like, hey, these customs weren't made perfect like right off the bat. There were mistakes made, there were repaints, and that's just how customizing goes. I also was not just fully winging this customs design, I did plan it out prior to painting. So here is a little digital representation that I quickly made up, and this is what I was basing my custom off of. That and also real life Sphynx, of course, especially the kind of patchy ones. I thought that would be a really cute idea rather than just doing a plain pink Sphynx cat. I could add a bit more pizzazz by giving him some grey patches, a little grey nose, etc. I was also very on the fence about giving him a tongue or not, but it's been a while since I gave one of my customs a little tongue, so I thought, why not? It fits, you know, it's cute. He's going bleh. I went in as well with my dotting tool for some of the patches, the kind of smaller patches, because it's pretty simple to use a dotting tool for this, and I feel like it gives me better, cleaner circles than hand drawing them. But for the more oblong patches that I wanted to have more of a spontaneous shape, I did go in and paint them with my paintbrush rather than the dotting tool. Some of these patches as well took a few more coats than others, and so some of them ended up looking lighter and some darker, which I actually liked in the end. Originally I was kind of hoping to have them all the same color, but at the end of it I thought having the different colored lighter and darker patches actually worked in favor of the custom. While I work on the patches, I wanted to quickly mention that Sunny's Pet Garden is actually releasing a new line of resin figurines. By the time this video goes up, the release should be out, so you'll be able to get them straight away on her website if that's something you're interested in. But the collection consists of extinct animals, which I think is really cool because obviously you don't see a lot of like toys or figurines of animals that are no longer around, and I thought it was a really cool concept, and I'm going to talk more about it later in the video. So if you want to see a sneak peek at one of Sunny's newly released resin figurines, make sure you watch to the end of the video, because it's a really cool collection she's coming out with, and I was very fortunate that she actually sent me 2 of her new resin figurines. I can only show you guys one again later in the video, but I wanted to mention it here so you guys have something that I look forward to at the end, besides our Sphynx reveal, of course. I want to add a quick little apology in here. You may see in some of these clips there's a bit of graininess in the video. You guys might not even notice, but for me, like looking back and editing it, it really bugs me, and that's just because it was cloudy. Like every day I was working on this custom, it was cloudy and raining and windy, and during the recording it looked fine, but I think my camera might have just been struggling a bit with the low light. Like I said, hopefully you guys don't notice it too much, but if you do see a bit of graininess here or there in some of the darker clips, that's why, and I do apologize for that. While doing the coats for this Sphynx's eyes, I was actually really excited. I think you guys know every time I make customs, I talk about how I get really nervous about the eyes, but I was actually really looking forward to doing them. I feel like I've been enjoying the eye painting process more the more I do it and the more I learn, and I hope the better I get. So I was actually really looking forward to doing the eyes of the Sphynx, and I think I chose a pretty good blue. Most of the Sphynx images, if you look up online, have these bright piercing blue eyes, so that's what I went with. I did think about doing heterochromia, it crossed my mind, but in the end I just wanted to stick with both blue eyes. While I'm building up the layers on the eyes here, I also wanted to say a massive thank you to anyone who saw my manta ray custom I posted over on my Instagram. He was also a Sunny's Pet Garden base, and he's a mini size, so it was a lot smaller and less to paint, but a lot of you guys really loved him, my little sunny side up manta ray. With the little resin yolk on his head. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting that custom, and hopefully you guys will love this one just as much, because this is like a full-sized one. So yeah, thanks. Yes, I am making the kind of eyes that stare straight into your soul, and I love it. After making this custom, again, looking back, editing this video, I want to make another one. I want to make another Sphynx cat and do a different color palette and different eye color. I love this mold so much. Sunny did such a phenomenal job on this pet. Out of all of her resin pets, this is definitely one of my favorite of all time that she's done, and I would love to see her do like a standing version of this Sphynx as well. Like, oh my god. But yes, I love this mold. If you're thinking about getting any of Sunny's resin molds, my recommendation would be the Sphynx cat. Hands down, has been my favorite so far. Like, all of them look great, but this one is just my personal favorite. Of course, I had to hit him with the heart-shaped eyes, and this is one of the few times where I didn't just have the eye shines in the middle of the eyes. I actually had them pointing in the same direction, kind of looking off to the side. It was something new for me, and I think it looks natural. It doesn't look too like derpy looking, because that's what I wanted to achieve, this kind of off to the side glance, and I think it looks okay. Let me know what you guys think, if there was any way I could make it look more natural, I guess. I don't know. This end point, I was mainly touching up some areas where I had kind of painted a little thick or gone over the lines, and then after that it was time to add our varnish to the eyes and tongue. I know you guys love the glossy eyes, so I've been trying to get better at glossing my pets up. And once again, like always, I use gloss Mod Podge, but I water it down so it is not streaky. Also, a really cool tip is if you use gloss Mod Podge and you notice any air bubbles in the varnish while it's still wet, take a dry toothpick and just pop the bubbles. Like, it is way easier than trying to pop it with like a paintbrush or trying to like rub it out. Just a dry toothpick, steady hand, and you can remove those bubbles really easily. So that is my tip of the day for customizing. It was then time to let the varnish sit, and our custom was complete. So here is my hand-painted Sphynx custom. Ta-da! I really love how this girly turned out. Like I said, I would love to make another Sphynx custom in the future. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of the shading specifically. Like, that's probably my favorite part of this whole custom, is actually seeing all the little wrinkles and everything. But I'd love to hear your guys' opinions as well. of what you think of this pet and the design I came up with and everything, because I think it's a really cool base and hopefully I did it justice. But if you want to see another Sphynx custom, definitely let me know, because I am very, very much wanting to do another one of these. Hey! So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the process of making this Sphynx cat. I'm really happy with how she turned out. I especially am proud of the shading in all her little crevices to kind of accentuate the wrinkles of her cat breed. Like I said, I hadn't really painted resin LPS before, so I was a bit nervous, but it was a really smooth experience overall, and I can definitely say that I am a fan of painting them, and of course a massive fan of Sunny's work. And I actually have a pretty exciting announcement, so if you guys stayed this long, you can get a little sneak peek at one of the new bases that Sunny is releasing. So this Sphynx base was from one of her previously released collections, which is still for sale on her website, but by the time this video goes up, her newest collection should be available, which encapsulates fossilized creatures. Animals that no longer walk the earth but deserve the appreciation. And I have one of these bases to show you guys. And that is this base right here. This is the Tasmanian tiger. The full scientific name will be up on screen, as well as its little character name. Sunny names all of her bases, which I think is so cute. But I am so honored to receive this base. Sunny sent this to me for me to customize and show you guys, and I knew I had to get my hands on this one. As an Australian, I had to represent. I think Tasmanian tigers are such beautiful creatures, and it is such a loss to the world that they are now extinct. But what also is really cool about these bases is Sunny now offers movable heads. Her previous bases, like this Sphynx cat, were one solid piece, but her new bases give you the option to move their head around, giving you more poses. It's really, really cool, and I'm super excited that Sunny has added this feature to her resin figurines. It just gives it that more LPS feel. So like I was saying, this little guy is going to be available right now on Sunny's website, as well as other extinct animals, and I just think it's a really cool release to have all these pets coming out. Go show her some love and maybe consider picking up your own resin animal to make it custom like I did today. Sunny also sent me another resin figurine, but I can't reveal it just yet. But here's a little teaser, and just know another amazing animal is on the way. Like I was saying, back to our Sphynx, let me know what you guys think of her. She will be eventually for sale in my store. I'm actually going to have a whole video going over my store and where you can purchase my customs. I'm super excited to be launching it, and I really hope you guys will enjoy the custom LPS that I will have up for sale. Let me get my mascot in here. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who watched this video. If you enjoyed, please do not forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will see you next time in another new video. Until then, whoa! Okay, let me try that again. Until then, bye guys! Bye!